Trump just might be the stable genius. 24 hours later, guess what Putin's saying now? He's offered a truce of peace for Easter for approximately 30 more hours. And then Zelensky comes back and says, well, 30 hours, not good enough. Why don't you do it for 30 days? I think Trump just used some reverse psychology, man. Seriously, I think it's what he just done. And it works, though. It works because you ever do something and want somebody to do something and you're really pushing for it, right? And then they kind of say no just for the sake of it, but you don't know that at first. So you give up. Right? You go, I'm done with this. I ain't doing no more. You clearly ain't down with it. You're just talking crap. Then all of a sudden people go, well, wait a minute. No. I'll do something about it. No, I'm for real. And now it just sounds like to me, both sides are competing on who could be the most peaceful. I'm like, what? Like, what? But I guess it makes sense. If Trump doesn't offer any deal, then no one gets anything from the U.S. Kind of makes sense. You know what's worse than someone trying to get you to do something you don't want to do? It's when they don't care about you anymore. People not caring about you is a very powerful thing when you want them to. Meanwhile, in my feed in London, there's two dynamic things going on right now. There's Christians celebrating Easter. It is Easter weekend. And the UK is a Christian country for the most part, even though there's freedom of religion. And there's people protesting for trans rights because the government has said, the UK High Court has said basically, or not the High Court, the Supreme Court, forgive me, has said that basically when they make decisions legally, they're going to base the decisions on people's biology, not what they think they are on the inside. But isn't that London in a nutshell? It's a city of just everything's there. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't be any more different, those groups. You got the people for transgender rights and the traditional Christians. They couldn't be any more different. And to me, that kind of represent what London really is. It's not one thing. It's thousands and millions of different things going on in one place at one time, all at once, every day. Love to visit the city, but I wouldn't live there. Or rather, I love visiting the city, but I wouldn't live there, if that makes any sense, because it's too expensive, dog. It's just way too expensive. Is the UK and US closer to a deal? Maybe. I think the tariffs actually add an element of pressure on the prime minister. Because by Trump doing this, they can now readily identify how valuable what the trade situation is with the U.S. So it's probably making the people in business say, Kirst, you got to sort this out. I don't know. When I think about this whole thing with the tariffs, it's like Trump is taking on China. And I remember growing up in the 90s when jobs started leaving under Bill Clinton, and it continued under George Bush. So it wasn't even a party thing when I was growing up. And a lot of working class people lost jobs because they shipped the jobs off to overseas, China mainly, but to other places, and put people out of work. And isn't it odd that the very guy saying, hey, this is unbalanced, we need to bring some of this work back, and it's talking about peace in the Ukraine and Russia, and saying that the U.S. needs to make better deals because it's going to be insolvent if it doesn't sort out its money, is being labeled as the Orange Devil. Just saying, think about that. And I'm not even a Trumper like that. I just look at situations as they come. You know what I mean? When I hear Trump say crazy stuff, I'm going to comment about it when I disagree with it. When I hear other politicians say crazy stuff, I'm going to comment if I disagree about it. You know what I mean? It depends on what you do. And it seems like to me, out of all the bad and good Trump does, he's doing a lot more good than bad. I'm just saying. He's not perfect by no means. But why is he the enemy for what he's doing right now? Just saying. Because the only people he's really hurting, if we're going to be honest, the stock exchange is going up and down and sporadic. Who does that benefit the most? Oh, jobs might, the price of iPads and stuff are going to go up because China's not going to make them for cheap anymore. Well, wouldn't that bring the work back? Who would that benefit? I'm just saying, man. Just think about it. If you take the orange glaze out of your vision when you hear Trump, that orange rage, and you just put it to the side and just look at what he's doing, pros and cons, and you'll find a lot of the stuff he does actually benefits working class people, which is funny because he's grown up rich and has always been rich. But why is it rich people can't relate to working class people. They actually can. It's just most don't, if that makes any sense. And I think that's what Trump illustrates. You can be a person that's well off and still be able to have time for people and understand their concerns. But you have to take yourself out of yourself and think there's things bigger than yourself. And I think that's actually what Trump does. I'm not saying he's a great savior, but I think if you ever see him talk to people, he has no problem talking to working class or people that would be perceived as poor or beneath him. He would have like, you remember the time he was in McDonald's and cooking fries? He was actually taking instructions from a worker at McDonald's. It takes a lot of humility. I'm just saying. He's not a saint, but I think he's actually not as bad as they saying he is. Anyway, y'all take care.